going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another third-party review, and today we're taking a look at some upgrades from Collector Crafts. That's my friend Ben. He actually lives in my community, and he made these, and he said, why don't you check them out, put them up on a review, and so he sent these my way. So, the first things we got are some Gatling guns for Prowl, and some pistols for him, and this is an adapter that I'm particularly excited for. But we'll get to that in a second. So let's take a quick look at this. This is a combination of cast parts on the back here and then a 3D printed part here, which is really interesting. I was talking to Ben about it. He said that he wanted to cast this too, but he couldn't actually get the holes to come out properly. The barrel does turn, as you would expect. It is a little, because of the way it connects, it does have a little bit of tension as you make that circle, but it's not bad. And I mean, it's not free spinning on my shelf anyway, so no big deal. I am not familiar with this particular filament from a 3D printer, but it has a real nice shine to the silver. Really, really nice. Yeah, and I don't know if that needed polishing or what, but it really does make the barrels look really nice overall. You do have a little bit of that 3D printing texture that you kind of can feel the little lines that a 3D printer makes, but overall I think that they look pretty nice. So to get the Gatling guns on, and I'm not really sure if there's fiction behind the Gatling guns or not. If you are aware of it, please let me know. I have no clue what it is. I know I've kind of seen Gatling guns done for Prowl before, but I don't really know where they come from. But anyway, it's just as easy as you really think it would be. You just kind of take the launcher and kind of clip it over there, and it's nice and snug and it fits in well. It's not falling off. Very nice. So we got Prowl with one Gatling gun, and you can see just how big of a difference it is. Let's actually bring his cannon out to make it look proper. So there's the cannon properly extended versus the Gatling gun, and it's a nice add-on to Prowl. Maybe a little bit of excessive force when it comes to the police, but I mean, you can't deny that the part looks nice on Prowl. And it can be a little bit difficult when you have them on to kind of manipulate the actual gun on Prowl, up and down, to kind of angle it, but I mean, it stays there just fine and they're not falling off. So that looks nice, I gotta say. I don't know Gatling gun Prowl, but it looks good. And before we go on, I believe he's selling the Gatling guns for $18 for the pair on his website. And if you want the next set of upgrades, which is the guns, you can get, I believe, the 2 Gatling guns and the 2 guns for $24, something like that. Anyway, these guns are once again cast in that beautiful silver plastic, a nice dark barrel there, because it's actually hollow going in there. So it ends up looking really nice. No paint on this at all, but it just turns out really nice with the way the light really picks up the silver. If I'm gonna make any complaints about this, it's the back here, and it's kind of the nature of the beast, because obviously these are kind of molded like this when they're formed and then kind of just cut in half. So it does leave this part feeling a little bit dull compared to the rest of it. I'm not sure if I can kind of maybe file that a little and kind of get it to shine up, because so much of it has this such a beautiful metallic to it, and then this kind of takes away from it just a little. But I think when you put it in Prowl's hand and they go in pretty snug, they're not going anywhere. But when they are in Prowl's hand like that, you're not going to notice that back end. So that's just kind of a nitpick from my own end, and for my collection I'm definitely going to see if that can be cleaned up. But it's really quite a beautiful metallic sheen on there. Really nice. So the next upgrade, this is the one that really caught my attention personally. And if you have MP44, you have this Starscream head. And this only goes on one way. It is a relatively tight fit, but it's designed to snap in there. And I suspect you can already guess why that would be. So here's our Maketoys Meteor, and Maketoys Meteor is a good toy, a really nice Starscream, but let's admit it, this head is not super duper Starscream. Now I've painted mine, if you're wondering, because I didn't appreciate it when I first got it anyway. So if you want to install this adapter to use the MP44 head, you kind of loosen up Starscream here, and then you pop his head off the ball joint. You just gotta loosen that bolt back here just a little, and we're just tighten that so we don't lose it. So now we have a headless Starscream. It's good to have this adapter in there just so you know where it goes, and you push it on and give it an extra little push there to get it in place. There we go. You should feel like one little pop and then a second little pop, and that's how you really know that it's actually properly in place. So the Maketoys head is definitely a lot smaller than the MP44 head, but I don't think the MP44 head looks out of place given the broadness of the shoulders. I think the wider head actually does it pretty well. Because of how this is made, you get plenty of articulation on it, side to side, up and down a little. It spins around perfect. Now the only downside to swapping out the Meteor head for the MP44 Starscream head is being that the MP44 Starscream head almost could be worn as a helmet, and these need to compress in to actually transform it properly. You will have to pull this back off when you transform your Starscream to jet mode, if you're going to transform them to jet mode. This adapter itself can stay on though, because it is sized appropriately to fit inside there. So you will have to do something with the head, which is the only downside, but we can't blame Ben for that because Ben didn't engineer MP44's head nor this Starscream, so can't really complain. One thing to note, if you are installing it, there is on the neck is easiest to tell. It's a smaller, it's rectangular actually. So from this angle, it's a little bit longer, and then this one's a little bit shorter. You want to have the shorter side going front and back here, and you should be running the length of the long side going back, and that's how it just fits in Starscream. If you have any questions on that, then just kind of go ahead and try to install it on Starscream. It only goes one way. You can clearly see that when it's the long way, it's just not going to happen. Whereas when it's the short way, you can see that it's now appropriately sized to fit in there. Now one thing I will note is that the connector, it is a very good tolerance on this connector. It is a little hard to pull the head of Starscream off. I am probably going to give the adapter just a little bit of silicone shock oil lubrication to make it easier to slide in and off when I want to take the head off. I would probably recommend doing that too, because for me, I don't really like pulling on this ball joint while I'm trying to pull the head off, but it serves its purpose. So anyway, special thanks to Ben for sending this my way to check out. I really love these two add-ons. Let's get Prowl back in here too, so we can see him. I actually like the Gatling guns more than I thought I would. I didn't really feel like I needed Gatling guns and guns on Prowl. But now that they're on, they look really awesome. So I'm glad he gave them to me to check out. And the Starscream's head is definitely a win. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. And I'll see you next time.